Good morning, my dear children. Today in the class, we'll study two things. Number one, we'll continue our discussion of cells, which we started last time. And the second thing, which we would be doing today, would be combination of cells, series combination of cells, parallel combination, and finally mixed combination of a cell. But children, before we proceed ahead, there are certain results which you have already studied in class 10th and you must know. These results are the expressions for energy and power. What is the energy drawn from source? Well, if there is a potential difference of V volt across the terminals of the source, then energy drawn from the source would be what? QV. What is Q? Q is the value of charge drawn from the cell. So QV is the value of energy drawn from the cell. What is Q? Q is electricity, charge. That is also IT. If we write Q as IT, we get what? VIT as the formula of energy. And if we write V as IR, then we get this formula as formula of energy. And if we write I as V upon R, we get V square upon R into T. So these are three expressions for energy. QV, VIT, V square upon R into T, I square R into T. This is the energy drawn from source in time T. Obviously its unit would be joule. The second formula which you already know is the formula of power. Power, that is the energy drawn from the source per second. Well, if we divide these expressions with time T, we get the expressions for power. So first formula of power is QV by T, the other is VI, and third one is V square upon R, and the last formula is I square R. T is removed from all these formulas. Unit of power is watt. 1 watt is equal to 1 joule per second. Children, last time we studied EMF and terminal voltage of a cell. EMF is the potential difference across the terminals of the cell when cell is not used, when current is not drawn from the cell, or when the terminals of the cells are what? Open. And that is the maximum value of potential difference across the terminals of the cell. Well, when current is drawn from the cell, potential difference across the terminals of the cell is slightly lesser, and this slightly lesser value of potential difference across the terminals of the cell when cell is used, when the terminals of the cells are closed using this load, or when current is drawn from the cell, is called terminal voltage. So these are the two terminals of the cell, 1, 2. These are also 1, 2. When I current passes through this load R, then what is potential drop here? IR. So this IR is the formula of terminal voltage. Well, when current is drawn, a part of the potential which is across the terminals of the cell, which is EMF, drops across internal resistance. This is internal resistance inside the cell. This is the value of voltage which drops within the cell to overcome the internal resistance, you can say. So a part of the EMF drops across the internal resistance. So the remaining EMF, remaining potential difference, is what is terminal voltage. So what is terminal voltage? E minus this potential drop, that is IR, within the cell. So these are two expressions for terminal voltage of a cell. Well, from 1, if we solve for R, what do we get? E minus V upon I is the value of R. And from 2, what is I? V upon R. If we substitute the value of I as V upon R here, then what do we get? E minus V upon V times R. This is the formula of internal resistance. Very, very important formula. Well, if we write V as IR here, then what do we get? IR is equal to E minus IR. You change the side of IR and take I common. We get the formula of current as E upon R plus R. Well, formula of EMF can also be written as E is equal to V plus IR. E is equal to V, change the side of IR, we get E is equal to V plus IR. This is total EMF, a part of the potential difference, this is total EMF. A part of this EMF is obtained across the load as terminal voltage, and a part drops within the cell. Now if we multiply both sides by I, voltage, when multiplied with current, what do we get? Power. So there are three different powers. Left hand side is EI, right hand side is VI plus I square R. So this is also power, this is also power, this is also power. What is this power? This power is called as power input. This power is called as P O oblique P, power output, and this is power loss. Power input is nothing but the energy drawn from the cell per second. Power input is the total energy drawn from the system called cell every second, and of course that is EI. And we know the value of I as what? E upon R plus R, E upon R plus R, and if we substitute this value of I here, we get the power input as E square upon R plus R. The second term, VI, is power output. This power output is nothing but energy obtained across the load per second. P output is what? VI, and if we write V as IR, then what do we get? I square R. If we write V as IR, it becomes I square R, and if we write I as E upon R plus R, we get power output as E square R upon R plus small r whole square. And the third term is power loss. Power loss, this is the third term. Power loss is nothing but energy lost within the cell across internal resistance of the cell every second or per second. This is I square R, and if we substitute the value of I as E upon R plus R, we get it as E square into internal resistance upon capital R plus small r. Now, percentage efficiency. Percentage efficiency of cell is, you are already familiar with the formula of efficiency. In case of machines, you have studied efficiency is power output upon power input, and if it is percentage efficiency, you multiply it with 100. So this is percentage efficiency of cell, which is power output upon power input into 100. This is power output, this is power input. We divide this expression from this, we get what? R upon R plus R into 100. So percentage efficiency of the cell is R upon R plus small r into 100. Now, can percentage efficiency be 100? The straightforward answer is no. Why is percentage efficiency not equal to 100? The reason to it is what? Internal resistance of the cell. Internal resistance of a cell can be small, but it can never be 0. Since R can never be 0, therefore percentage efficiency cannot be 100. See, this percentage efficiency can be 100 only when R is equal to 0, small r. When a small r is 0, this is capital R upon capital R, 1 into 100 is what? 100. So percentage efficiency can be 100 only when small r is 0. Small r can never be 0, therefore percentage efficiency for any cell can never be 0. Well, you can see here conservation of energy. This is total energy obtained from the unit called cell, and a part of the energy is obtained across the load per second, and a part is wasted within the cell in the form of heat. Well, what is power matching? Something very interesting and very important concept. Well, when we connect load across this battery, and if we vary the value of load, so will the power output be same for every value of load? No. As the value of load is varied, the power across the load varies. Power matching will tell us the condition when the power obtained across the load is going to be maximum when connected across a source. So this is, the condition is what? We obtain maximum power across load only when the value of load matches with internal resistance of the cell. So when capital R becomes equal to small r, this is the condition for power matching. When capital R becomes equal to small r, well, the value of power obtained across the load is maximum. Why? Why is it so? For that you can work out this mathematics. See, power output is E square upon R plus R whole square into R. And you have already studied the concept of maximum and minimum in differentiation in mathematics. For maximum or minimum value of function, first order differential of the function has to be 0. So for power output to be maximum, its first order differential with respect to variable R should be 0. You differentiate this function with respect to R, equate it equal to 0, solve it, and once we solve it, we get this R is equal to R. So this is condition for maximum power across load. And if we plot a graph between output and load, what do we get? When load is 0, the power output is 0. As the value of load is increased, the value of power increases, and when value of load matches with internal resistance, power is maximum, and as the load is further increased, the value of power decreases and becomes zero when the value of load is very large, infinite. Now let us combination of cell. Well, in combination of cells, we are going to study 3 different combinations. Well, the very first one is series combination, and in all these combinations we have taken a cell whose EMF is E and internal resistance smaller. In series combination we have n such cells. This is cell number 1, this is cell number 2, and so on. This is nth cell, all connected in series and all are connected in same sense. Same sense means they all would give the current in the same direction. They help each other. So this is E, this is E, this is second cell, and this is nth cell. So if we replace this combination, in series the value of potential difference is distributed. So if E is the potential difference across this cell, E is the potential difference across this cell, E is the potential difference across every cell, then across the whole combination, the potential difference will be what? Ne. So this whole combination can be replaced by a single battery across whose terminal the potential difference is Ne. And every cell has internal resistance R. Therefore, the net resistance of this bigger battery, single battery which replaces this, will have how much resistance? R. How many times? N times. Nr. So children, total EMF, net EMF is what? Ne. Net resistance is what? R plus Nr. So what is net current? Net EMF upon net resistance, that is Ne upon Nr plus capital R. This is the current in series combination. Well, parallel combination. These are the batteries connected in parallel. Every battery has an EMF E and internal resistance R. This is first cell, this is second cell, this is third cell, and this is mth cell. Well, in parallel the potential difference is same, and all these cells have same EMF. Therefore, all these cells when replaced by a single battery will have EMF E. And the total internal resistance of this single battery which replaces all this battery would be what? Parallel combination of all these resistances R. And how many of them are there in parallel? M. So their equivalent would be what? Value of 1 divided by their number. 1 upon R. How many times? M times. It will come out to be M upon R. Equivalent would be what? R upon M. This is the equivalent resistance. Well, now, what is the total EMF of this battery? E. What is the total resistance in the circuit now? R plus R upon M. So current is going to be what? E upon total resistance R plus R upon M. And this is mixed combination. See, there are M rows of the cells, and in every row there are n cells in series. So this single cell, the single cell which is going to replace all this cell will have an EMF Ne as in the series combination, and the internal resistance of the single battery would be what? R. How many times? N times. Likewise, second row also will have a single battery of EMF Ne and internal resistance Nr, and so on. This mth row will also have a single battery of EMF Ne and resistance Nr. Now, since all these batteries of EMF Ne each are in parallel, therefore single battery which will replace all these batteries would be what? Would be having EMF Ne. Why? Because in parallel the voltage remains same. So the single battery which replaces all these batteries will have EMF Ne, and the internal resistance of this single battery would be what? Nr. How many times? M times in parallel. The equivalent would be what? Nr upon M. So what is net EMF? Ne. What is net resistance? R plus Nr plus M. So what is net current? Total EMF upon total resistance, or effective EMF upon effective resistance. That means I is equal to Ne upon R plus Nr upon M. So with this we come to the end of today's class. Thank you very much. God bless you all.